We have once again Mr. Ryan with us. Ryan, ever
Hello.
since we saw you last,
Right.
so much has happened.
Yes.
What is one significant event that you want to speak to us about? You can share with us.
48 hours in Atlanta?
48 hours in Atlanta.
Yes.
What does that look like? Why did you go to Atlanta? Did you go alone? Did you go with your team?
No, actually, the whole point of me going to Atlanta was to get soda.
To get soda?
Yeah, because I'm trying to quit soda for the year.
What about the chicken?
No, soda's important because that's where Coca-Cola was invented.
Okay.
So Atlanta's special with soda,
Okay,
right?
but not chicken, because he likes chicken.
I do like chicken, but that was like the last interview. We went fried
That's
chicken.
true.
No, so I want to go to Atlanta, right? And I was really bored in Richmond and DC, so I was like, all right, we need to go there because I need to get creative again.
Mm-hmm.
So, want to go to Atlanta just to go on a soda binge and then just find like a person to just be a tour guide, basically.
Okay.
And I think a couple of days I posted on Instagram looking for a test model.
Okay.
Right? And then fast forward real quick, someone asked me what am I doing in Atlanta, and I didn't know this person was from Atlanta, and this person reached out to her agent from 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. And then that agent reached out to me, and she was, I'm not going to give out names, but she's a VP, of the third largest modeling agency in the world.
What is that modeling agency?
Not going to say.
No.
I think I'm on an NDA right now.
Wait, got it. You guys have to stay tuned to find out, maybe.
Yeah. Well, after we release the pictures,
It's true.
So she's like a VP for this, and it's probably the largest agency in Atlanta. And I think, obviously, she didn't know us, so she didn't really, promise us any models or anything to shoot. But I was only expecting, 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then, fast forward another 24 hours. Right before we're leaving Thursday night, we were going to leave Friday morning. I get the call list, and it was 30 models.
30 models.
So this little trip is no longer
Little
anymore. So it's like we have to work.
So we went from 3 to 30 in 24 hours.
Yeah. So we left Richmond after Noel dropped y'all off at the airport, which you guys had a hard time getting into Atlanta, apparently.
We did. You guys almost beat us there.
Yeah.
You guys were in a car.
I know.
That's another side story.
Speaking of which, that was probably the worst thing about that trip is taking a Tesla on a long distance drive because you had to constantly charge. So the 8-hour trip became literally 12 hours.
How often did you guys have to charge?
Every almost 2 hours.
Okay.
But then you had to wait another hour. It was just crazy. So we got there at 4 a.m. When we got there, I did not know Atlanta grew that big. And originally we were supposed to shoot in downtown, but there's no way you can manage 30 models downtown. We probably had to get licenses and stuff. And so it was just a hot mess. So when we got to the hotel, talked to the night auditor, and I was just like, hey, can we shoot around the hotel? And he's like, yeah, just don't get in the way of the guest. Mm-hmm. And so we did that. So the next morning, got up early, talked to the manager on duty, and there was none, right? So I just talked to the front desk people, bought them lunch, they let us use the building.
Very kind.
And then literally every 30 minutes, it was just boom, boom, boom.
Every 30 minutes, a model showed up from one of the top modeling agencies in the world.
And they're actually very professional. They called when they were there. They were on time, None of them were late, and if they were late, it was literally minutes, just a couple minutes late. Or they're I'm in the parking lot. So their communication was impeccable. They came ready. They had their little model bag with everything. Mm-hmm. Some flew in from Miami, Alabama, South Carolina. So it was actually pretty impressive.
That's incredible. What was the experience like in comparison to what you expected it to be? So you expected 3 models.
Yeah.
You got 30.
Yeah.
Was that smooth or was it challenging?
It definitely wasn't challenging. I think it was very smooth because they were all professional. but also like the organization prior to it was very important.
Mm-hmm.
So really, on the ride down, because we had an extra 4 hours on that trip.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so basically just just get with the flow. But prior to that, we knew what shots we wanted. When I sent out like the request to the agency, like I already had the mood board, I had the creative, creative concepts. I don't like that word concepts, but we can talk about that later. Makeup, shoes, attire, everything was like set in stone. Mm-hmm. So like we knew what shots we were gonna get, and then after that, basically once we got the shots, and there was more time, then we could be creative, But the hopes of doing this was to be back in Atlanta again.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But this time, prove that we were able to do the work.
And what was the experience for the models like? Have you heard any feedback?
Yeah, actually, it was actually pretty interesting, because what I realized by the end of the day was it was the models who had the final say whether they wanted to shoot or not, yes or no.
30
right?
models decided. They looked at your work, they looked at Noel's work, and they saw, like, this is something I want to do.
So it's
amazing.
They valued our work, so that was a compliment and a blessing, and we're very grateful for it. Right. So it kind of validated that what we're doing is, on par.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you guys, I was actually there from the BTS perspective, and I've never seen anything run this smoothly. With two people, with 30 models, everything from the location to how you scheduled everything.
Yeah, the way they laid out their clothes, makeup.
Yeah, the clothes, everything was laid out. Everything was just so professional.
Yeah.
So.
And I think the biggest thing is communication.
Communication was key.
Yeah, and being prepared going in.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get there, it's just all about execution. That's it.
What kind of shots do you think you were going for? Is it similar to the style that you usually do, or were you trying to do something different for this?
No, for this one, it was literally what normally do. Mm-hmm. Basically, some type of shots that the agency can use for the model to get them booked. So it wasn't too crazy, but it worked out well because I was able to get those shots, and then Noel was allowed to be more creative.
That's nice.
Yeah, so it was a good balance of things. So hopefully when they get the pictures, they'll be very happy, and hopefully
can't wait to see the pictures.
The models get the jobs. And it was actually really cool because it was a good blend of experience, not experience, and all sorts of different diversity of people.
Yes.
Plus size, regular size, pretty much everyone was there. And then some were in the business for like 30 years. Yeah, and then some just started. So, and it was cool because of the overlapping, they were able to work with each other and help each other out, things like that. So it was a good experience, I think, for everybody.
That's amazing. Yeah. So you went to Atlanta. What's next? Are you gonna?
Oh man,
do you think you're gonna keep this going?
New York.
Yeah. Do you want to do
Yeah.
similar type of events from now on? Now that you saw that you can actually handle 30 models just like that.
I knew we could handle it because of prior, events that we have done, but it helped that the models were professional.
That's true.
If it was like 30, models who want to get signed or not signed or whatever, or don't have a mother agency to tell them to be at a certain place, certain time, then it would have been a little difficult.
Yeah.
But because these were, I guess professionals, like it helped a lot. But yeah, what's next is New York.
New York.
And then Miami. And then Milan.
Milan, okay.
I'm just going to talk that into existence.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So we'll see you there.
Yeah.
We'll follow you there.
Yes.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us once again, and we look forward to speaking to you
again
about events coming up.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.